Part 12. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 111. Meet again. Lu Jin raised his hand and signaled Mo Lu Buletin and others not to come forward. He was very interested in this resurrected King Mulu. Unexpectedly, in Manhu Imperial City, he actually saw King Mulu, who had already been killed by him. Not only that, the Mula King in front of him also has strength beyond the first level realm. By this time, Lu Jin could probably guess. The so-called Emperor Manhu in Manhu Inner City is probably also a lord. Because only the lord can use props to summon clones from parallel worlds to this world. But what Lu Jin didn't understand was that if Emperor Manhu was a foreign lord, how could he be trapped in the inner city? Holding the doubts in his heart, Lu Jin held the Xianyuan ancient sword and pointed it directly at King Puppet Mulu. Give you a chance to live. Tell me, who are you loyal to? King Mulu on the opposite side did not answer. Lu Jin's only response was King Mulu's infuriating pressure that was rising rapidly like a rocket. In an instant, the Dharma image appeared behind King Mulu. With the head of an elephant and the body surrounded by giant pythons, this is the appearance of King Mulu. The next second, King Mulu directly attacked Lu Jin. He's only at the first level, but he still dares to take action against the Saint Realm. Lu Jin chuckled and raised his hand. Xianyuan ancient sword fell directly. With an ordinary sword, it directly split open King Mulu's Dharma appearance. The oncoming King Mulu was cut in half by Lu Jin. The surrounding Qianlong town generals were confused when they saw this scene. What's the situation? Is this guy probably out of his mind? My lord is a strong man in the Saint Realm. How can he, a general beyond the first level realm, dare to take action against a saint? But at this moment, the body of King Mulu in front of Lu Jin exploded. That's right. It exploded directly. The thick and dark poisonous mist exploded from his body. Lu Jin immediately used his true energy to resist King Mulu's self-destruction before his death. But wisps of poisonous mist actually passed through the Genkai barrier and attacked Lu Jin. Seeing this scene, everyone couldn't help but feel horrified. What's the situation? Actually, even the Saint Realm's true energy barrier can't resist this poisonous mist. Lu Jin snorted coldly and injected his true energy directly into the Nine-Dragon helmet. In an instant, the Nine-Dragon helmet glowed brightly. The moment the poisonous mist touched the light of the Nine-Dragon helm, it turned into a plume of black smoke and dissipated into the air. Is this your method? Lu Jin looked at the poisonous mist that was gradually dissipating in front of his eyes, and couldn't help but start to speculate. Although I don't know what effect that poisonous mist will have on me. But just because its appearance requires the sacrifice of a super first-level master, and it can pass through one's own Saint Realm Qi, the combination of the two is enough to show that the poisonous gas is not simple. If it were an ordinary saint, he would probably fall into this trap. But Lu Jin possesses the divine dragon spirit, and the Nine-Dragon helmet on his body is a rare and powerful piece of equipment. It's just a little trick, it's too easy to think of hurting him. Lord. Are you okay? At this time, Yao Daji came to Lu Jin's side immediately. She put her hands on Lu Jin's body, trying to use her own energy to explore Lu Jin's physical condition. But Lu Jin shook his head and said in a deep voice. It's a small skill, but it's not enough to pose any threat to me. Seeing that Lu Jin was not in any danger, everyone could not help but breathe a sigh of relief. At this time, the army of Shenhan had arrived at the gates of Manhu Imperial City. Malabuletin took the lead and broke open the city gate. The army swarmed in and rushed directly into the outer city. Suddenly, a melee broke out. Many Shenhan lords were hiding outside the city and did not dare to enter it. What a joke! The barbaric warriors in the city now are either third-grade warriors or second-grade warriors. There are even super first-class shaman activities. When people like them enter the melee, aren't they just cannon fodder? and Lu Jin went straight to the inner city. A huge building stood in front of everyone. In front of the huge palace gate, a row of barbarian generals holding various weapons stood in front of Lu Jin. Lu Jin looked around and saw that, without exception, they were all super first-grade warriors. Puppet. Samoko. Puppet. Wyutubone. Puppet Yuji. The generals lined up in front of him were, without exception, all famous foreign military generals in history. And they are also the elusive totem shamans in the Manhu area. Lu Jin could feel that he would soon be able to touch the biggest secret in the Manhu area. Thinking of this, Lu Jin took a step forward and walked straight towards the final palace. Seeing Lu Jin approaching, Puueji burst out with an astonishing aura, filled the sharp weapon in his hand with true energy, and went straight towards Lu Jin to kill him. When suddenly, a figure appeared and struck out with a spear. A violent metal collision sounded, and Kuang Makeo turned his energy and directly flew Puppet Ueji away. "You're just a barbarian, how dare you hurt my lord?" In an instant, Kwangma's whole body's true energy exploded, and the blood-colored Dharma suddenly appeared. Kill. Puppet Samoko's figure moved slightly. But the next second, a murderous intention directly targeted Puppet Shamoko. Magician Wei held the Abyss Black Dragon halberd, poured his true energy into the two halberds, and smashed them directly towards Puppet Samoko. "Barbarian, suffer death." Boom. With a loud noise, Puppet Samoko was directly knocked out by Magic Wei. The last puppet is left, and he still wants to intercept Lu Jin. But the next second, Amolu Buletin appeared behind Lu Jin, and a square-shaped halberd fell directly to the ground. The figure who was about to step forward stood directly on the spot and looked at Lu Jin like this. Lu Jin just walked into the palace. Behind him, all the generals were fighting together. The true energy surges outside the palace, and the Dharma appears. But there was dead silence in the palace, and Lu Jin finally saw the legendary Emperor Manhu. He just sat there quietly, not breathing a breath. And two very familiar figures stood on both sides of Emperor Manhu, motionless like statues. Is this the legendary barbarian emperor? Looking at the lifeless mummy on the dragon chair, Lu Jin couldn't help but feel a little ridiculous. I have thought that Emperor Barbarian who in the palace might be a saint. I also thought that Emperor Manhu in the palace was a majestic and strategic emperor. But he never thought that the barbarian emperor sitting there was actually a dead body. At this time, Lu Jin looked at the two statues on both sides of Emperor Manhu. Barbarian Menghuo. Man. Mrs. Zurong. Two divine generals. Just standing on both sides of Emperor Manhu, like a loyal guard. At this time, both Man Menghuo and Mrs. Manzurong set their sights on Lu Jin. Today, you killed us. Or, we kill you. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 112. Oh. Lu Jin smiled. He had just sensed the cultivation levels of the two divine generals opposite him. They are not at the first level, they have surpassed the first level and entered the semi-saint realm. 2.5 saints. But only 2.5 saints. Do they really think that 2 half-saints can kill him, a strong man in the saint realm? Lu Jin smiled faintly and hooked his hands at the two of them. Kill me? You can give it a try. The next second, Man Menghuo and Mrs. Manzurong disappeared directly from the spot. The strength of the two of them was completely different from the Menghuo and Madame Zurong that Lu Jin had met before. Even Lu Jin did not dare to be as careless as before when faced with the siege of two semi-saints. Mobilizing the true energy in his body, Lu Jin mobilized 30% of the true energy in his body and injected it into the 9-dragon helmet. When the 9-dragon helmet immediately lit up with a shimmer of light, and a true energy barrier appeared directly around Lu Jin. The attacks of Man Menghuo and Madame Manzurong landed on the chi barrier, but they could only make the chi barrier shake slightly. Seeing that their attacks had no effect on Lu Jin, the two of them looked extremely shocked. The chi barrier alone can block our attacks. A strong man in the saint realm truly deserves his reputation. The moment they fought, the two knew the difference between a semi-saint and a saint. But even knowing that the gap between the two parties is like a world of difference, the two of them still didn't give up the chance to attack. A torrential attack, mixed with violent infuriating energy, hit Lu Jin's infuriating energy barrier directly. Lu Jin did not attack, but just maintained the operation of the chi barrier. You two's attacks were completely unorganized. Is this the only thing that the barbarian half-saint is capable of? Your attack methods are not even as good as my soldiers. With such an inferior attack, you still want to kill me. From Lu Jin's point of view, the attacks of Man Menguo and Madame Manzurong were completely unorganized and full of flaws. Even if he pulls out any soldier from the three armies, his attack will be more organized than the two of them. Attacking indiscriminately, not knowing how to allocate his own energy, full of flaws. If Lu Jin takes action, he can kill both of them within 3 moves. But Lu Jin did not take action because he realized that the two god generals in front of him had the only purpose from beginning to end, and that was to seek death. Thinking of this, Lu Jin raised his hand, and the chi barrier quickly exploded. The aftermath of the Genkai explosion directly blew Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong away. The violent shockwave even caused severe chaos in the chi in the two people's bodies. The two of them looked pale, but there was no sign of pain on their faces. Instead, there was a trace of expectation of relief. At this time, Lu Jin directly used 50% of the true energy in his body. A pair of big hands with real energy rose directly from the ground, grabbing Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong directly in their hands. After being caught, Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong immediately gave up their resistance. This also made Lu Jin's guess even stronger. The two gods in front of them will have no desire to live from the beginning. But due to certain rules, they cannot understand themselves, so they can only understand themselves through Lu Jin's hands. Thinking of this, the corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly, revealing a mysterious smile. You two are bent on seeking death. I have no objection, but only if you answer a few questions for me first. Hearing these words, both Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong remained silent. Neither of them intends to cooperate obediently. Lu Jin said calmly, if you don't want to say it, it doesn't matter. But next, I won't kill you. On the contrary, I will destroy your cultivation and imprison you in a cage. Every day I will send people to use true air to nourish your bodies and ensure that you will not be harmed by any disease. If you can still endure loneliness, you don't have to answer my questions. Immediately afterwards, Lu Jin directly raised the first question. Is the corpse on the throne a native of Hunyuan continent, or a lord from another world? Faced with this problem, Mrs. Manzurong first looked at Man Menguo. Man Menguo fell silent, hesitating. Seeing the two people's hesitation, Lu Jin directly mobilized his energy. In an instant, a thorn-like Genkai penetrated directly through the two people's danshan. Lu Jin directly destroyed the cultivation of the two of them. Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong looked horrified. They were not afraid of having their cultivation level abolished, but they were afraid of being imprisoned in another heavenly prison. Mrs. Manzurong could no longer bear it and shouted directly to Menguo next to her. Husband, I don't want to be trapped in this palace anymore. As soon as these words came out, Man Menguo seemed to have thought of something, and his face showed pain. Finally, Man Menguo looked at Lu Jin. You swear, if we answer all your questions, you will kill us yourself. Certainly. Lu Jin had no reason to keep them. Even if they were deposed divine generals, they were still divine generals. If he wanted to imprison them, Lu Jin also had to bear a risk. What Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong didn't know was that even if they didn't answer this question, After not getting the information he wanted, Lu Jin would decisively kill both of them. It's a pity that the two of them failed to withstand the test after all. Yes. The person sitting in this position is Emperor Manhu, but he was only the Emperor Manhu from 100 years ago. Immediately afterwards, Lu Jin received unexpected news. Even in his previous life, he had never heard of this news. That is, they are not the first batch of alien lords to come to this world. The great Emperor Manhu in front of him was the powerful lord who unified the entire Manhu 100 years ago. Under his command are barbarian Menguo who is in the semi-saint realm, Madame Manzurong, and various barbarian generals who are above the first level realm. Like Lu Jin, he has huge resources that ordinary people don't have, so he can summon all kinds of powerful warriors for his use. Like Lu Jin, he stepped into the realm of saints, wiped out the chaotic barbarians, and unified the barbarians. But he made a fatal mistake. That is to start a conquest mission for the dragon spirit of another country. The final result was that Manhu's dragon energy was taken away, and he became a place without dragon energy from then on. Barbarian who once had dragon energy. That's right. Every area has dragon energy, but Manhu doesn't have it. Then there is only one possibility, his dragon energy is plundered by other areas. Lu Jin looked at Man Menguo and asked the most crucial question. Where did the barbarian dragon energy go? For a country with two regional dragon energies, Lu Jin could imagine that it would definitely become his most powerful enemy in the future. And Man Menguo spoke a name. Demon Tang. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 113. Unexpectedly, Manhu's dragon energy had actually been plundered by Demon Tang 100 years ago. No wonder that in the memory of his previous life, Manhu was the only area without dragon energy. It turns out that this is not because Barbarian who is special, but because Barbarian who lost his future 100 years ago. At the same time, this also sounded the alarm for Lu Jin. That is, in addition to their group of lords, there were also player lords who came to this land 100 years ago. Their number may not be as large as it is now, but their savings over the past 100 years are beyond the imagination of their lords. For example, this barbarian emperor, if he was not the first to target the demon Tang, but the divine man. So, with the two semi-saint level generals under him, plus a group of super first-grade generals, the current divine man may not necessarily be a divine man. No, maybe there are century-old lords within the Shenhan. Thinking of this, Lu Jin couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth slightly. Things started to get interesting. This is not because he is afraid of these lords who have hundreds of years of foundation. They don't dare to let out a fart when he makes such a big noise in Shenhan. Either he is dead, or he is weaker than himself. It would be better if he died, and he could directly obtain the information they left behind for hundreds of years, and his strength would definitely increase greatly. We have already said what needs to be said. Now, you can kill us. Man Menguo and Mrs. Manzurong, as summoned generals, were loyal to Emperor Manhu. But after Emperor Manhu died, this loyalty became a curse. Now, the appearance of Lu Jin made them feel that being killed might also be a kind of relief. Lu Jin glanced at Man Menguo and asked the last question. Where is the legacy of Emperor Barbarian Hu? Right behind this throne. After answering Lu Jin's question, Lu Jin used his energy to peek into the space behind the throne. But at this moment, Lu Jin discovered that his true energy had been blocked. This discovery brought a smile to Lu Jin's face. As expected of a centuries-old lord, this throne alone can actually isolate the Saint realm from detection. Presumably, the treasures in the treasure house behind the throne are even more valuable. Very well, you can go and die. With that said, Lu Jin mobilized his energy. But Mrs. Man Menguo and Mrs. Man Zerong showed a hint of relief on their faces, and were directly killed by Lu Jin. After killing the two men, Lu Jin didn't even look at their bodies and walked straight towards the throne where Emperor Manhu was. When he came to the corpse, Lu Jin raised his hand and directly lifted the corpse with his true energy. The title of Emperor Manhu will no longer exist in the future, because the entire Manhu will become the territory of the Divine Man. As for you loser, you can leave. With that said, Lu Jin raised his hand and threw the corpse aside. The moment the corpse left the throne, the entire throne began to shake. As if something had been triggered, the throne moved aside, and a tunnel leading to the ground appeared in front of Lu Jin. In an instant, endless spiritual power rushed towards him. What a strong aura! It looks like there are quite a few treasures in it. Lu Jin suppressed the surprise in his heart and walked directly towards the depths of the tunnel. Not long after walking, the space in front of me suddenly opened up. The first thing that catches the eye is a large number of gold coins piled up like a mountain. The huge amount of gold coins directly piles up the entire space. This reserve is several times greater than the gold coin reserve in Luoyang's treasury. Lu Jin waved his hand and pocketed all the gold coins. Ding! Congratulations on winning 1 billion gold coins. 1 billion gold coins. Lu Jin curled his lips in dissatisfaction. His savings over a century only amounted to 1 billion gold coins. It seems that this barbarian emperor is not as rich as he thought. If Emperor Manhu heard what Lu Jin said, he would be angry and resurrected. 1 billion gold coins is not enough. At this time, Lu Jin had already set his sights on other treasures. Looking around, after the piles of gold coins disappeared, the treasure house suddenly felt a lot empty. What came into view immediately was the stone platforms standing one after another in the treasure house. There were props of different shapes placed on these stone platforms. Lu Jin mobilized his true energy and directly pocketed the props on the stone platforms. Ding! Congratulations on getting the legendary item ambergris. Ding! Congratulations on getting the legendary item alchemy book iron coupon. Ding! Congratulations on getting the legendary blueprint red gold palace. A series of system prompts sounded. Lu Jin first took out the ambergris and checked the specific properties of this golden legendary item. Name ambergris. Quality golden legendary level. Effect after ignited, the cultivation speed is increased to 1000 times, lasting 24 hours. Is it a prop to increase the speed of cultivation? Just right, it can be used in conjunction with the enlightenment elixir you obtained. Later, Lu Jin set his sights on other legendary items. When he saw the effect of the alchemy book iron coupon, his eyes lit up. Name alchemy iron coupon. Quality golden legend. Effect after use, it can resist a fatal injury. Life-saving tool. Lu Jin decisively pocketed it directly. However, Lu Jin kept a cautious eye. Emperor Manhu had the Iron Book of Alchemy, but he was still dead. Lu Jin speculated that he was most likely wiped out by the system because he failed in the conquest mission. In other words, although the alchemy iron coupon can resist a fatal injury, it cannot resist direct obliteration from the system rules. After figuring out the rules for using the alchemy iron coupon, Lu Jin looked around again. The treasury that was once filled with treasures was now empty and looked empty. But what made Lu Jin feel a little confused was that he had collected all the treasures, but the spiritual power concentration of the entire treasure house had not dropped much. In other words, there are still treasures hidden in the treasure house that he has not taken away. You were careless and killed those two guys too early. The best thing is a treasure that can be hidden. Even if I turn this treasure house upside down today, I will still find out the hidden things. Thinking of this, lightning flashed on Lu Jin's fingertips. He decided to use the simplest and crudest method to directly demolish it violently. Crackling. For a moment, the entire treasure house was filled with lightning and thunder. In the endless thunder, Lu Jin decisively discovered that there was something strange in one area. After his thunder landed in that area, it seemed as if it touched some barrier and disappeared without a trace. Lu Jin took a step forward and quickly touched the weird wall. When Lu Jin touched the wall, he immediately noticed something strange. This wall is fake. There is a cave behind the wall. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 114. If I hadn't been observant, I would have missed a big opportunity. Thinking of this, Lu Jin directly put his hands on the stone wall. The violent Genkai was injected directly into the stone wall, and the entire stone wall suddenly changed. The stone wall suddenly disappeared and then appeared again. With the continuous injection of Lu Jin's true energy, dense cracks appeared on the entire stone wall. When the last ray of true energy was injected, there was a snap, and the entire stone wall shattered like glass. And Lu Jin finally saw the situation behind the stone wall. Behind the stone wall, 3 stone platforms stand there, with 3 jade boxes of different shapes placed on the stone platforms. The aura of the entire treasure house emanates from one of the jade boxes. Good guy. Lu Jin felt that the energy in his body had dropped by 60%. In other words, if there is no means to open it, it will take at least a saint-level cultivation to break this mechanism. Even a strong person in the semi-saint realm cannot have enough true energy to break through this mechanism. Lu Jin strolled up to the jade box that exuded huge spiritual energy. Opening the jade box, a strange-shaped flower appeared in front of Lu Jin's eyes. The huge spiritual energy made Lu Jin feel that the true energy in his body was beginning to stir. Nice one. Lu Jin directly explored the properties of this flower. After seeing the properties of flowers, he finally couldn't suppress his inner joy. Name: red dust flower. Quality: colorful holy products. Effect: red dust flower contains huge spiritual power. This spiritual power has almost no side effects. It can be converted into true energy immediately after taking it. Taking one petal can improve your cultivation to the saint state in a short time. Taking a whole flower can raise your cultivation level to the immortal realm for a short period of time. Lu Jin was a little excited to upgrade his cultivation to the immortal realm. Just like the gap between the first level realm and the saint realm, the gap between the saint realm and the immortal realm is even more different. Lu Jin really wanted to experience what it was like to cultivate in the immortal realm. But after thinking about it, Lu Jin still put away the red dust flower. If a flower is eaten, it will disappear by itself, but if it is specially cultivated in the cultivation room of the Four Seasons garden, Lu Jin will have a steady stream of trump cards. Therefore, Lu Jin closed the jade box and put the red dust flower into his backpack. Then, he set his sights on the other 2 jade boxes. Since the first jade box has given me a surprise, I guess the other 2 jade boxes will not disappoint me. Thinking of this, Lu Jin directly opened the second jade box. Name: the art of immortal puppet. Quality: colorful holy products. Effect: after learning the art of the immortal, you can use the corpse of a first-level general to refine it and obtain a puppet that exceeds the first-level realm. Another colorful holy item. Use the corpse of a first-grade general to make a puppet of a superior first-grade general. Now, Lu Jin finally knew where those puppet generals outside came from. The magic of the immortal is really incredible. After the death of a first-grade military general, he can become a super first-grade being. Lu Jin put away the magic of the immortal puppet. From now on, when he fought with Cao and others, some generals would inevitably fall. You can use this for yourself. Winner and loser, as long as it can enhance the fighting strength of his side, Lu Jin is willing to take it into his hands no matter what method he uses. Lu Jin opened the last jade box directly. After opening it, there was only a jade pendant inside, lying quietly inside. Among the jade pendants, there is also a letter. Later Comer, if you can open this jade box, it means that the entire barbarian who has fallen. If you can do this, you are very strong. But as the saying goes, there are people outside the world, and there is a world outside the world. I thought at the beginning that I could rule the barbarians and be invincible in the world, until I was defeated by the demon Tang. Man whose future was lost to Yao Tang by me in a bet, but I didn't make Yao Tang pay the price. The moment you open the jade box, you have been targeted by the demon Tang, although the means are despicable and not heroic. But I am already a dead person, why do I care so much? Ha ha ha. Seeing the last 3 words, Lu Jin suddenly felt something bad. When he looked at the contents of the jade box, Lu Jin couldn't help but sigh. I am really about to be targeted by Demon Tang. Name: Jade Seal of the Demon Tang Dynasty. Quality: unique and special. Effect: a special container used to gather Yao Tang's dragon energy. It is also a symbol of the legitimacy of Yao Tang's throne. Unexpectedly, Emperor Manhu was not completely defeated. Although he lost Manhu's dragon spirit, Manhu's future. But he also took away Yao Tang's most important thing. The National Jade Seal. Although the Imperial Seal is just a symbol, without this symbol, the reigning demon emperor of the Tang dynasty will always be criticized. Now that Lu Jin holds it in his hand, it is a hot potato. But just when Lu Jin was thinking about how to deal with this hot potato, he saw a line of words engraved under the Imperial Seal. By the way, I have some good news for you. The Jade Seal of the Demon Tang dynasty is not only a symbol of the throne, but it is also the key to the Imperial tomb of the Demon Tang dynasty. Strong man, if you really have hands and eyes that can reach the sky, why not conquer Demon Tang and open the Imperial Mausoleum, which contains the real secrets of this world? Presumably, you don't want to be restricted by system rules all the time. Seeing this line of words, Lu Jin narrowed his eyes slightly. The original idea of getting rid of the Jade Seal of the Demon Tang dynasty completely disappeared with these few lines of text. The Mausoleum of the Demon Tang dynasty? Interesting. Lu Jin put Demon Tang Yuxi into his backpack. Afterwards, Lu Jin directly used his true energy to destroy the entire treasure house and the words. In this way, only he will know the secret left behind by Emperor Barbarian Hu. After Lu Jin walked out of the palace, many generals outside the palace had killed all the puppets. Compared with ordinary generals, these puppets have stronger attack and defense powers. But their biggest flaw is that their flexibility and combat thinking lag behind ordinary generals. In addition, the weapons in the hands of Lu Jin's generals are all magical weapons made by Oyu's Heize. With the blessing of magical weapons, killing these puppet generals is not a problem at all. Reporting to my lord, all barbarians in the city have been killed. Very good. Lu Jin directly began to order everyone, and the troops were divided into 3 groups and directly began to encircle and suppress the remaining clans of Manhu. Now that the imperial city has been occupied, the remaining barbarians are already struggling to survive. There was no need for Lu Jin to continue leading his troops against Barbarian Hu. Next, he only needs to digest the Manhu realm, increase his own strength, and upgrade Qianlong town to Qianlong city. After completing the founding of the country and proclaiming himself emperor, he unified the divine men. Combining the 2 worlds of Shenhan and Barbarian Hu, I might not have any room to fight against Demon Tang. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 115. System announcement. The Shenhan Qianlong town successfully broke through the Manhu Imperial City. Hereby rewards, the only special treasure box, a golden legendary resource treasure box, a golden legendary gold coin treasure chest. As Manhu Imperial City was occupied, a system announcement sounded. Listening to the system announcement, the lords of Shenhan Fang all showed envious eyes without exception. A special treasure chest and 2 golden legendary treasure chests. It's simply not that exciting. The lords of Barbarian Hu Fang also completely understood after seeing this announcement. Next, no one will be able to resist the advance of the army of divine men. Qingzhou Yufengxiu, ha ha ha, Manhu imperial city has been breached, where is the lord over Manhu, weren't you very arrogant before? Liangzhou Bei Mingxiu, I have to say, it's great to be hugged by my thighs. I've already earned more than 10,000 war points. Lin Baimu, Yuzhou, I picked up thousands of war points just by following the army in Qianlong town. I couldn't be happier. Yangzhou Yunfei Yang, I just don't know how many war points Mr. Lu Jin has now. It's probably over 100 million. At this time, Lu Jin glanced at his war points and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. His war points have now reached an extremely terrifying number. But this number did not stop growing. As the Qianlong town army divided into 3 groups and began to comprehensively suppress the barbarian area, Lu Jin's war points soared at a speed visible to the naked eye. Lu Jin did not use these war points. After all, he still had a 10-fold conquest order that he had not used. Wait until the conquest mission is over, and then use this 10-fold conquest order to maximize your benefits. At this moment, Lu Jin returned to Qianlong town, and he wanted to start digesting the loot he had obtained. After returning to Qianlong town, he immediately began to retreat. The core library of Jixia Academy was immediately sealed off, and everyone had to enter. Lu Jin directly took the enlightenment pill and lit the ambergris. Directly started the retreat training mode in Jixia Academy. Lu Jin started to retreat. The troops under his command were not idle and began to take over the barbarian area. And this kind of news reached the ears of all the princes in the Shenhan, and everyone couldn't believe their ears. What? The Manhu imperial city has been captured by Lu Jin. After Lu Jin returned to Qianlong town, he started to retreat directly. After listening to the news reported by his men, Cao felt flustered. How long has it been? In less than a month, Lu Jin actually directly captured the Manhu imperial city. If he hadn't known something about Lu Jin, he would have even thought that his men were joking with him. The status of Manhu imperial city is comparable to that of Luoyang, the divine Han dynasty. What's more, according to rumors, there are a large number of masters lurking in Manhu imperial city. Although it is independent of each clan, the power of Manhu imperial city is as powerful as Lu Jin's and is deeply rooted in the hearts of the people. But now, Manhu imperial city has been captured by Lu Jin. Moreover, after Lu Jin defeated Manhu imperial city, he actually chose to let go and return to Qianlong town to practice in seclusion. 2 possibilities immediately emerged in Cao's mind. The first possibility. Lu Jin received huge benefits in Manhu imperial city, and these benefits were enough to take his strength to the next level. Because of this, he returned to Qianlong town and began to practice in seclusion to digest the benefits he had gained. Second possibility. That was when the powerful men from Manhu imperial city threatened Lu Jin and seriously injured Lu Jin. So Lu Jin appeared to be in seclusion to practice cultivation, but in fact he was in seclusion to recuperate. Compared to the first possibility, Cao is more willing to believe in the second possibility. After all, Lu Jin is strong enough now. If he continues to be strong, Cao doesn't know if he has the courage to face him. Liu Bei on the other side was furious when he heard the news that Lu Jin had captured Manhu. A bunch of trash. Lu Jindu has already captured Manhu imperial city, but you guys can't even capture a small Yazhu. Zhujiang, who was standing next to him, looked ugly. He had already tried to dissuade Liu Bei. It's a pity that Liu Bei has been completely bewitched by Zhou Taoist. Regarding Zhujiang's suggestions, Liu Bei only listened to 3 points. Upon seeing this, Taoist Zhou immediately took a step forward and said in a deep voice, "Lord, don't panic. Although Lu Jin defeated Barbarian Hu is actually a huge drag on him. The barbarian land is vast and sparsely populated, and there are many poisonous and insect-infested lands. Just managing it is a huge problem. Lu Jin's rash expansion will make it difficult for him to digest Manhu's huge territory and drag himself down. If we capture Yizhu, we can immediately regain our vitality and increase our power to a higher level. Compared to this, our current policy has no problem. After listening to Zhou Daoran's deception, Liu Bei suddenly felt that he was not so anxious anymore. When Zhou Taoist saw this, he immediately analyzed and deceived him again. Lu Jin just took the Manhu imperial city and went into seclusion to practice. In my opinion, he must have been injured by a barbarian master when he attacked the Manhu imperial city. The current strength of Lu Jin is only superficial. We can only be truly strong if we quickly capture Yizhu and Jiaozhou. After another round of deception and analysis, Liu Bei nodded. Really? Lu Jin's strength is just false strength, it's because he cares too much about Lu Jin. In this way, amid the anxiety of many warlords and princes, Lu Jin went into seclusion for nearly 3 months. In these 3 months, the many forces of Shenhan began to crush and annex. The 4 strongest forces among them are Yuan Shao, Liu Bei, Cao, and Sun Jian. The 4 of them were constantly fighting for the few turfs. But no one touched the territories of Jizhu, Salai, and Bingzhou. Because these 3 areas are the areas where Lu Jin is most active, no one wants to touch Lu Jin's bad luck at this time. And on this day, it was an ordinary day. The core library of Jixia Academy is open again. Once the news was released, everyone in Qianlong town received a signal. Lu Jin is out of quarantine. At this time, Lu Jin took a deep breath, and then slowly exhaled a breath of turbid air. He felt the majestic energy in his body like a bottomless abyss, and couldn't help but complain. It's really difficult to step into the immortal realm, but fortunately, I now have half-immortal cultivation. Half-immortal cultivation, coupled with the divine Han Dragon Chi, and many of his trump cards. At this time, Lu Jin had the guts to kill a real immortal even if he met him. System announcement: 90% of the Manhu area is occupied by Shenhan, Manhu is destroyed, and all barbarian area lords will be merged into the Shenhan area. System announcement: Barbarian is destroyed. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 116. Oh. Seeing this system notification, Lu Jin's face showed a hint of surprise. Unexpectedly, in just 3 months, he had already won Manhu. The time was shorter than I expected. However, Lu Jin also knew very well that it was easy to destroy Barbarian Hu, but it was more difficult to conquer him. In the following time, he still needs to fully digest Barbarian Hu before he can truly digest Barbarian Hu. Ding, congratulations on successfully completing the mission Northern Expedition of Barbarians. Ding, congratulations on successfully obtaining the colorful Holy Item Conquest treasure chest. Looking at the colorful treasure box that appeared in his backpack, the corners of Lu Jin's mouth raised slightly. Immediately afterwards, Lu Jin opened the war store panel and checked his war points. By this time, the number of war points will basically not change much. And now is the best time to use the tenfold conquest order. Ding, it has been detected that you are a noble VIP 10, and the exclusive war store is hereby opened. Sure enough, when Lu Jin opened the war store, the exclusive war store appeared again. Lu Jin clicked into the exclusive war store to check his points. 1, 10, hundreds, thousands, 10,000. After counting 3 times, Lu Jin finally determined his war points. 1 billion war points. This number was within Lu Jin's expectation, and Lu Jin directly used the tenfold conquest order. Use the tenfold conquest order. Ding, congratulations on your successful use of the tenfold conquest order. Your current war points have been increased to 10 times. For a time, the war points soared rapidly, directly reaching the terrifying level of 10 billion. When Lu Jin saw this terrifying number, he couldn't help but whistle in relief. 10 billion war points, converted into gold coins, is a huge sum. But Lu Jin will not exchange all these points into gold coins. After all, there are a lot of good things in the exclusive store that you need to redeem with war points. Ding! Congratulations on successfully redeeming the colorful Holy Treasure box. Ding! Congratulations on successfully redeeming the golden legendary treasure chest. Ding! Congratulations on successfully redeeming the golden legendary treasure chest. Lu Jin directly redeemed all the redeemable treasure boxes. Immediately afterwards, Lu Jin called out the most expensive products in the exclusive store. Fengchan Terrace, a colorful holy building, selling price, 1 billion points. Just 1 billion points? Exchange. Wilhao Hall, a colorful holy building, selling price, 1 billion points. Hualan Pavilion, a colorful holy building, selling price, 1 billion points. Redeem them all. After the exchange was completed, Lu Jin still had a lot of war points left. Later, Lu Jin exchanged all these war points into resource gift packages. After all, his goal from the beginning of the northern expedition to barbarians was to obtain a large number of war points through the war, so as to exchange them for resources. Suddenly, a large number of resource gift packs almost filled Lu Jin's backpack. Lu Jin looked at the resource gift pack in his backpack, and the smile on his face was not concealed. With these resources, Qianlong Town can once again usher in a major upgrade. After all the war points were spent, Lu Jin first placed 3 colorful holy buildings in Qianlong Town. In addition to the wonder of the bronze bird tower that he obtained before, there are now 4 colorful holy level buildings in Qianlong Town. Lu Jin first set his sights on the Fengchan platform. The name of Fengchan Terrace alone was enough to make Lu Jin extremely interested. He wanted to see if the effect of this Fengchan platform was worthy of its name. Name Fengchan Terrace. Quality colorful holy products. Effect 1. The heart of the world, the people's support in your territory will never be lower than 60 points. You need to become emperor to unlock it. Effect 2. All nations come to Korea, for each vassal country, the territory will permanently receive a legendary talent. Requires 10 dragon energy to unlock. Effect 3. Dragon Chi body protection, when you encounter an enemy in your territory, you will be invincible. Requires 20 dragon energy to unlock. Hiss. Lu Jin took a look at the effects of the Fengchan platform, and each one was more powerful than the other. The hearts of the people in the territory will never rebel, legendary talents, invincible status. No matter which one, it is enough to put Lu Jin in an invincible position in the territory. But it is a pity that these can only be unlocked after Lu Jin becomes emperor. Now Lu Jin is still on the last step. Lu Jin closes the attribute panel of Fengchan Terrace. Then he set his sights on Wilhao Palace. When he saw the attribute panel of Wilhao Palace, he couldn't help but reveal a mysterious smile on his face. Name Wilhao Palace. Quality colorful holy products. Number of people who have passed the Wilhao trial, 0 people. Effect 1. The generals in the Wilhao Palace will receive a 100% combat power bonus. One person unlocks it by passing the Wilhao trial. Effect 2. The level improvement speed of the generals in the Wilhao Hall is increased by 100%. Unlocked by 3 people through the Wilhao trial. Effect 3. The difficulty of breaking through the realm for the generals in Wilhao Hall is reduced by 100%. Unlocked by 5 people who pass the Wilhao trial. After seeing the effects of Wilhao Palace and Hualan Pavilion, Lu Jin touched his chin. The effect of both buildings is almost the same. It's just that one is the Wilhao trial and the other is the Hualan trial, and they have different emphases. No matter which building you pass through, once you step into Wilhao Hall or Hualan Hall, the improvement for generals and councillors will be huge. Lu Jing closed the property panels of the two buildings, and a plan suddenly emerged in his mind. It has been a long time since the last time we invited various warlord families. Lu Jing clearly remembered the last time he invited various warlord families to Qianlong. After seeing the magic of Qianlong, many children of the aristocratic families came to Qianlong. Because of this, Lu Jing gained a large population and reputation. Now, Lu Jin plans to repeat his old tricks. Now Lu Jinggong has succeeded in the northern expedition to the barbarians, and his reputation is at its peak. If at this time, Lu Jin uses the celebration token again to hold an event in Qianlong and invite all forces to come to Qianlong, the effect can be described as adding fuel to the fire and getting out of control. Thinking of this, Lu Jin raised his hand, and the black guard immediately appeared next to Lu Jin. Go down here and tell all the princes and warlords my order. In 1 month, I will host a banquet in Qianlong and invite everyone to come. Presumably, they won't fail to give me this face. Upon receiving the order, the black guard immediately disappeared. Lu Jin played with the celebration token in his hand, and then with a wave of his hand, 2 colorful holy treasure boxes and many golden legendary treasure boxes appeared in front of Lu Jin. Ding, do you want to spend 10 million gold coins to upgrade the colorful Saint Conquest treasure box to the colorful Saint Grade Emperor treasure box? Just then, the system's beep sounded again. When faced with Lu Jin's question, Lu Jin had only one answer. All upgraded. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 117. For a time, a large amount of gold coins were lost, but Lu Jin didn't feel any distress at all. Because he knows very well that after he has fully digested Barbarian Hu will become his largest treasury. Although there are many bad waters in Manhuqianshan, it does not prevent various precious mineral deposits from being found inside. It's a pity that the Lord in Manhu is too weak. Most of those precious resource-producing areas are suppressed by high-level monsters. Because of this, barbarians are so poor and desolate. But now, Lu Jin has taken over and only needs to cooperate with the Silk Road to transform it. I guess it won't take long before a large amount of gold coins will flow into Lu Jin's pocket. Therefore, the efforts you make now are all for the rewards in the future. Open the treasure chest. Lu Jin first opened the 2 colorful saint-level treasure chests. For a moment, there was a golden light, and a familiar system voice sounded in Lu Jin's ears. Ding, congratulations on getting the colorful holy level prop talent recruitment order. Ding, congratulations on getting the colorful holy level treasure bronze mother tree. Ding, congratulations on getting the colorful holy level architectural blueprint the Great Wall. Oh! A colorful saint level talent recruitment order? Lu Jin touched his chin and became interested. The talent recruitment orders I had obtained before were all golden legendary level, and the generals and counselors I summoned were all above the first level without exception. So wouldn't this colorful saint level talent recruitment order be able to summon saint level talents? Thinking of this, Lu Jin directly chose to use this talent recruitment order. Ding, congratulations on obtaining the saint level talent Shang Sheng. Shen Wanzan. Shen Wanzan? In Lu Jin's impression, this man was neither a general nor a counselor. This man was a famous businessman in history, and his financial resources were so rich that he could rival his country. It's a pity that although he has clear business talents, he does not have the corresponding political acumen. In the end, he was captured by Zhu Yuanzhang and his family wealth was dissipated. Now, with the blessing of the colorful saint talent recruitment order, this person actually has the prefix of Shang Sage. Lu Jin touched his chin, becoming somewhat interested in this upcoming talent. For Lu Jin, gold coins are the foundation for his strength. And Shen Wanzan's greatest ability is to make money. Perhaps, this is the best talent for Lu Jin now. After waiting like this for a few days, Lu Jin digested all the props from the treasure box one by one while waiting for the arrival of Shang Sheng Shen Wanzan. Compared to Lu Jin's comfort and relaxation, the warlord families from all over the country were sitting on pins and needles, restless. Because the Black Guard followed Lu Jin's order and sent an invitation letter to the princes everywhere. Everyone, Lu Jin, have lived up to my command and succeeded in the northern expedition against the barbarians, eliminating a major threat from the Shenhan. To celebrate the elimination of the scourge of barbarians, I hereby set up a celebration ceremony in Jianlong town to enjoy it with the people. Taking this opportunity, a series of buildings such as Jixia Academy will be opened. If you like it, why not come to Jianlong town to talk about it? After reading this invitation letter, the most panicked person was Cao Cao. Cao Cao was already very suspicious, but he was too frightened after the Battle of Hulao Pass. Now, whenever Lu Jin is mentioned, Cao Cao will fall into a state of restlessness. Now Lu Jin has directly sent out an invitation letter, inviting all the princes to go to Jianlong town. For a moment, Cao Cao didn't know what to do. Everyone, do you think I should go to Jianlong town to participate in this celebration ceremony? As soon as he finished speaking, Sun Yu stood up from the crowd. He bowed his hands respectfully to Cao Cao. My lord, I think we have to go to this grand celebration. Have to go? Cao Cao couldn't help but look at Sun Yu and asked sharply. Jianlong town, that's Lu Jin's territory. If Lu Jin sets an ambush, won't we fall into a trap? At this time, 11G stood up and directly dispelled Cao Cao's concerns. I don't think Lu Jin has reached this level yet. He has just finished his northern expedition to barbarians, and his reputation is at the peak of his power. If he attacks the Lord secretly at this moment, he will be trapping himself in an unjust situation. And with Lu Jin's strength, if he really plans to take action against us, he probably won't need such plots and tricks. The moment he said the last sentence, the doubts in Cao Cao's heart suddenly disappeared. Yes. With Lu Jin's strength, did he need such a conspiracy to kill them? But at this time, Cao Cao suddenly realized that he would give up his worries for this reason. Cao Cao only felt humiliated in his heart. Humph. It's just Jianlong town, why not go there? Cao Ren, Yu Jin. When their names were called, the two men immediately stood up. Is it possible that the Lord plans to take the two of them to Jianlong town? Thinking of this, Cao Ren and Yu Jin couldn't help but swallow. It is said that there are many masters in Jianlong town. If we go there alone, wouldn't it be like a sheep entering a tiger's mouth? But then, what Cao Cao said surprised everyone. You two stay behind and take charge, while the rest of you go to Jianlong town with me. Ah! Now it was the turn of many generals and councillors to be stunned. Only two people are left to sit in charge, and everyone else goes to Jianlong town? But then, everyone came to understand that after all, in Jianlong town, if there were too few people, their lord might feel a little bit in danger. At this moment, a piece of heavy news reached the ears of the princes from all sides. Lu Bian actually claimed that he would fully support the Jianlong town celebration ceremony. After hearing the news, Liu Bei of Jingzhou couldn't sit still. How can this Lu Jin be so virtuous? How could he allow His Majesty to go to Jianlong town to celebrate? Zhuge glanced at Zhou Taoist next to him. But today's Taoist Zhou was uncharacteristically uncharacteristic. He did not directly speak to fool Liu Bei, but stood there looking like a fool. Seeing this, Zhuge couldn't help but ask Zhou Taoist. Master Zhou, I wonder what your thoughts and suggestions are regarding your invitation to the celebration ceremony. Suddenly calling out his name, Taoist Zhou glanced at Zhuge and sneered. Want to throw this question to yourself? Zhou Daoren raised his hands and said to Liu Bei, I must have the answer in my lord's mind. Isn't this grand celebration an opportunity for my lord to make a splash in front of other princes? If my lord can get the support of the young emperor of the Han dynasty, it will be just around the corner to help the Han dynasty. I believe that the young emperor of the Han dynasty publicly supported the celebration ceremony this time just to test the princes in the world and see who is more qualified to help the Han dynasty. As soon as these words came out, Liu Bei's eyes became eager. At this time, Taoist Zhou struck while the iron was hot. I am sitting in Jingzhou, my lord, I have nothing to worry about. Mr. Kongming, please protect my lord during this grand celebration. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 118. What a good idea. Sit yourself in Jingzhou and let yourself take the Lord to Jianlong Town. Everyone knew that the celebration ceremony in Jianlong Town was like a dragon's pond and a tiger's den, but Taoist Zhou actually handed him this hot potato. However, this is exactly what Zhujiang wants. This celebration ceremony is a great opportunity for him to perform. =IQ=, hashtag. If you perform properly in this celebration ceremony, you will be able to occupy an important position in the heart of the Lord. Although Liu Bei now occupies Jingzhou, his wings are not yet full and his momentum is huge, but after all, it is a castle in the air. If he can listen to his own opinions and develop in a low-key manner, he may not have a chance to dominate the world in the future. On the surface, Taoist Zhou seemed calm and indifferent. In fact, the Zhou Taoist almost went crazy inside. What's the situation? Is barbarian so inexperienced? Lu Jin is still too strong. How long had it passed before Manhu was captured by Lu Jin? Zhou Daoren is an avatar of Zhou Ci. Because of this, he understands even more that the treasures buried in the barbarian land are enough to make even a saint excited. As soon as Lu Jing took over Manhu Imperial City, he returned directly to Jianlong Town for retreat. Could it be that he has obtained the treasure of barbarian land? No. Maybe he was just recovering from a serious injury. After all, he had only heard about the treasures in the barbarian land, and no one had to know whether they existed. Damn it! This guy Lu Jin is growing up too fast. If it weren't for this guy Zhujiang who blocked me time and time again, Liu Bei would definitely have become a qualified chess piece in my hands now. But fortunately, Yuan Shao's development is going well. Lu Jin, if I let you be arrogant for a few more days, when my plan is completed, even if you are a strong saint, you will fall. Thinking of this, the vicious look in Zhou Daoren's eyes became even deeper. In this way, a month passed in a hurry. 1 month is not a long time for various princes. The princes from all walks of life did not dare to neglect the invitation sent by Lu Jin easily. People from all walks of life rushed to Jianlong Town from all over the Shenhan. Along the way, the bandits and water bandits couldn't help but gasp when they saw such a battle. What is Cao going to do? He actually brought a group of tiger and leopard cavalry with him, as well as many generals accompanying him. Haven't you heard? Jianlong Town's northern expedition against Manhu was a great victory. The Lord of Jianlong, Lu Jin, invited all the princes to go to Jianlong Town to participate in the celebration ceremony. Participating in the celebration ceremony? What about such a big battle? It's like going to suppress bandits. Hee, that's the Lord of the Hidden Dragon, a master who kills without blinking an eye. Isn't it possible that the princes from all walks of life are afraid of this attitude? In this northern expedition alone, the troops of Lord Jianlong slaughtered at least hundreds of millions of barbarians. It can be said that thousands of miles were covered with blood. At this moment, Jianlong Town is a bustling scene. Fire-red lanterns were hung on the streets, decorated with lights and colorful decorations, making it as lively as the New Year. Many people of Jianlong Town took to the streets one after another. People were coming and going on the streets, and the faces of women and children were filled with excited smiles. Now, most of the people were gathered at the entrance to the town. Lu Jin stood at the entrance, dressed in green clothes as if he were an immortal, standing at the entrance of the town. Welcome the demon army. God Zudge, Yao Daji, and others returned to the court one after another. In this northern expedition to the barbarians, these generals and counselors undoubtedly made great contributions. Therefore, Lu Jin personally greeted them at the entrance of Qianlong town. The first to enter the territory was the 10,000 demons army. In this northern expedition to the barbarians, the 10,000 demons army had the greatest achievements. As the commanders of the 10,000 demon army, Yao Daji and Amolu Buletin are even more outstanding. I have met my lord. This subordinate has met my lord. Yao Daji and Amolu Buletin knelt before Lu Jin. However, Lu Jin did not convince the two of them immediately. Instead, he took out 2 tokens and said solemnly, Amolu Buletin, this northern expedition to the barbarians has made outstanding achievements, and it is even more powerful to destroy the city and the stronghold. I hereby reward you with a Wuhao Palace token. With this token, you can step into the Wuhao Palace and conduct the Wuhao trial. If you pass the Wuhao trial, you can enter the Wuhao Palace and enjoy eternal achievements. Wuhao Palace. Hearing this name, Amolubu was shocked. When did the Wuhao Palace appear while I was away from Qianlong town? But after hearing Lu Jin's last words, you can enjoy the merits of eternity, Amolu Buletin's heart moved. As a military general, his greatest wish is to be famous and admired by the world. Obviously, this Wuhao Palace is a place to prove yourself. Mora Buletin took the trial token. Lu Jin's eyes fell on Yao Daji, and Yao Daji's eyes fell on the Hualin Pavilion trial token in Lu Jin's hand. The pattern and color are different from Wuhao Palace, but the style is basically the same. Yao Daji, this northern expedition to barbarian who has made outstanding achievements, and you have a plan to win 1,000 miles away. Hereby rewards you with a Hualin Pavilion token. With this token, you can step into Hualin Pavilion and conduct the Hualin trial. If you pass the Hualin trial, you can enter the Hualin Pavilion and enjoy a reputation that will last forever. Taking the token from Lu Jin's hand, both Yao Daji and Amolu Buletin saw the expectant look in Lu Jin's eyes. At this moment, Lu Jin was also very much looking forward to seeing the two of them as the elders of Qianlong town. Their strength is considered to be among the best among many military commanders and counselors. If neither of them can pass the test, then the others may be a bit simple. I just hope that the difficulty of this trial is not too difficult. After receiving the token, the two men repaired for a while and immediately went to Hualin Pavilion and Wuhao Hall. Lu Jin watched Yao Daji enter Hualin Pavilion, and then waited at the door for news about Yao Daji. While he was waiting, a middle-aged man came to Lu Jin. Lu Jin glanced at the middle-aged man and immediately noticed the distinctive saint-level aura within him. With almost no need for the other party to introduce himself, Lu Jin immediately guessed the man's identity. The villain Shen Wanzan has met my lord. That's right. I recruited Shen Wanzan a month ago. Shen Wanzan came to Qianlong town the next day. However, after arriving in Qianlong town, he did not find Lu Jin immediately. Instead, he ate, drank and had fun in Qianlong town. And he thought he was perfectly hidden, but Lu Jin had powerful props like an astrological platform. He was discovered as early as the first time he entered Qianlong town. Moreover, Lu Jin is now a half-immortal, so it is easy to detect the existence of the saint realm. Unexpectedly, after nearly a month of inspection, this Shen Wanzan was willing to show up in front of him. Lu Jin couldn't help but sigh in his heart, is this the character of a businessman? Extremely cautious. Lu Jin looked at Shen Wanzan and said directly, you spent nearly a month inspecting Qianlong town before you came to me. It seems that the value of Qianlong town makes you, a businessman, very satisfied. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the God-level arms. Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 119. Hearing these words, Shen Wanzhen's heart skipped a beat. It turns out that Lu Jin had discovered his little trick a long time ago. But Shen Wanzhen had already expected this result, after all, as the powerful lord of the hidden dragon. If he couldn't even detect a saint-level being sneaking into his territory, then he wouldn't be standing here. The lord of the hidden dragon is so powerful that the villain is just a businessman. When the villain saw such a valuable territory, he couldn't extricate himself for a while and did not visit the lord immediately. The villain is extremely grateful to be appreciated by the lord. If the lord is dissatisfied with the villain, he can do whatever he wants with the villain. Although Shen Wanzhen was in the saint realm, he kept his attitude very low after speaking. Faced with such a slippery Shen Wanzhen, Lu Jin said nothing and focused on Shen Wanzhen. Name Shen Wanzhen. Positioning businessman. Realm half-saint. Talent business wizard, all business output in the territory he is loyal to increases by 100%. Loyalty 90. A talent in the saint realm actually has an additional talent? This surprised Lu Jin. The talent of a business wizard is simple and crude enough to increase business output by 100%. In other words, a shop that originally could only earn 1 gold coin a day can now earn 2 gold coins a day. Lu Jin touched his chin and couldn't help but sigh, this talent is good. As residents' income increases, the more taxes they can collect, and the more gold coins they have, the stronger they become. At this moment, Shen Wanzhen spoke again. Lord, I heard that Qianlong town is planning to hold a celebration ceremony recently. It's true. This is hardly a secret. Even the bandits from the outside world know something about it. At this time, Shen Wanzhen took a deep breath and spoke directly. If your Lord believes in me, why not give me the power of the celebration ceremony? I will definitely organize the celebration ceremony to be unique and make my Qianlong town famous. Having said this, Shen Wanzhen looked at Lu Jin, fearing that Lu Jin would refuse. After all, in Shen Wanzhen's era, the status of businessmen can be imagined. But Shen Wanzhen knew very well that it would be extremely difficult for him to stand out among this group of capable people as he had just arrived. So I must seize any opportunity to perform. Lu Jin glanced at Shen Wanzhen and said calmly, then I'll leave it to you. Shen Wanzhen originally had a plan of speech. If Lu Jin refuses, he will use this rhetoric to impress Lu Jin. As a result, Lu Jin directly agreed before he even used his good tongue. After reacting, Shen Wanzhen's face was immediately filled with joy. Thank you, my lord. At this moment, something strange happened in Hualin Pavilion. I saw an ordinary stone pillar in Hualin Pavilion, with layers of dense cracks suddenly cracking on its surface. With a bang, rubble fell from the surface of the stone pillar, and a lifelike stone statue appeared in front of everyone. At this time, Yao Daji walked out of Hualin Pavilion and said to Lu Jin before handing her over. Fortunately, I have successfully passed the test. Lu Jin nodded with satisfaction. It seemed that his worries were unnecessary. With Yao Daji's strength, there would be no problem in passing the Hualin test. And that statue is proof that Yao Daji passed the Hualin test. Lu Jin opened the attribute panel of Hualin Pavilion and saw that the attributes of Hualin Pavilion had been activated. Name Hualin Pavilion. Quality colorful holy products. Number of people who have passed the Hualin trial, 1 person. Effect 1. When the ministers in Hualin Pavilion use Qi, the effect is enhanced by 100%. Activated. Effect 2. The cultivation speed of the ministers in Hualin Pavilion is increased by 100%. Unlocked by 3 people through the Hualin trial. Effect 3. The understanding of the ministers in Hualin Pavilion increases by 100%. Unlocked by 5 people through the Hualin trial. With Yao Daji passing the Hualan trial, Hualan Pavilion has begun to officially function. Next, they only need to wait for others to return to the court one after another, and then they can come to Wuhao Palace and Hualan Pavilion to complete the trial. Afterwards, Huang Daijun followed closely and returned to Qianlong town. Shenzuj also participated in the Hualan Pavilion trial, and the result was without any doubt, he passed directly. Finally, there is the Red Desolate Army. As a dual positioning being, the god Li Mu passed 2 trials at the same time. In this way, except for some soldiers who stayed behind in the Manhu area, all the people in Qianlong town gathered in the territory to prepare for the upcoming celebration ceremony. A few days later, Qianlong town finally welcomed its first batch of guests. Yuzhou, Cao, is here to celebrate the great victory of the northern expedition of barbarians in Qianlong town. Cao's carriage team entered Qianlong town first. Cao, who was sitting in the carriage, saw the current scene of Qianlong town through the window of the carriage. Along the way, there were many kinds of buildings, which made Cao sigh. It is said to be a town, but in terms of population and prosperity, even Luoyang is somewhat inferior. The carriage came to an inn along the way. Before Cao could get out of the car, Shen Wanzhen's voice came from the inn. "Welcome, I didn't expect that the first one to come to support us was Mr. Cao. Come here, there are 10 guest rooms in Tianzihao. Fortunately, I can arrange them for Mr. Cao." With a businessman's unique fake smile on his face, Shen Wanzhen came directly to the carriage. Cao didn't understand why and looked at Shen Wanzhen strangely. "Who?" "Innkeeper." Among the information I collected about Qianlong town, there was no information about this person. At this time, Su Chu stepped forward, ready to stop Shen Wanzhen. "After all, my lord is extremely suspicious and it would be bad if he rashly lets others get close to him if he has ulterior motives." Unexpectedly, the moment Su Chu just stretched out his hand, Shen Wanzhen appeared directly behind Su Chu. In an instant, all the generals froze, noticing something unusual about Shen Wanzhen. But at this time, even if they reacted, it was too late. Shen Wanzhen directly grabbed Cao's wrist. At this moment, Cao's legs almost became weak and he was about to collapse on the ground. The generals under him are at least in the realm of first-grade warriors, but they can't even block this person. That means that this person is at least a strong person beyond the first level. A strong person who surpasses the first level realm can get close to him and cut off his head in just an instant. When Shen Wanzhen saw this, he let go of his hand and said to Cao, "Forgot to introduce myself, I am Shen Wanzhen, and I am currently the host of this celebration ceremony. If Mr. Cao has any problems, you can respond to me first, and I will do my best to solve them. Lord, spend tens of billions of Krypton gold and sign into the god-level arms." Author, Bathing in the Breeze. Chapter 120. "Then I'll bother you, sir." Before he was sure about Shen Sanwan's true strength, Cao treated Shen Sanwan in front of him politely and did not dare to show any airs. Immediately afterwards, under the guidance of the innkeeper, Cao was taken to an extremely luxurious guest room. All the materials in the guest room are of the highest quality. Sleeping on the bed in the guest room, Cao felt as if he was above the clouds. Feeling the luxury everywhere in the guest room, Cao thought to himself. Just the layout of a guest room is enough to illustrate the current strength of Qianlong town. Even in his house, there was no such comfortable bed. Lying on the bed, I even felt sleepy. Fortunately, Cao had amazing willpower and sat up from the bed. Perhaps in order to erode his own will, his guest room is the best. I'd like to see if other rooms are the same as mine. After walking out of the guest room, Cao came to the room where Su Chu and other generals were. Because CAO has a large number of people, Shen Wanzhen said that they have single rooms and multi-person rooms here. Su Chu and other generals lived in the multi-person guest rooms. CAO secretly thought that the environment of a multi-person guest room must be much worse than a single guest room. When he opened the door, what he saw was Xiahedun and others, naked from the waist up, in the fitness area in the corner of the guest room, chatting while pumping iron. The materials of these instruments are completely different from those in my house. It's like iron but not iron. It's harder and heavier than iron. It's great for exercising. The mattress in this guest room is so comfortable. My old problem for many years will be cured. Ha ha ha, ask the businessman if he can sell us a few copies of the mattress. Otherwise, after sleeping on a mattress like this, I'm afraid I'll lose sleep if I go back to sleep on a hard bed. I heard that the guest rooms at Sun Yu's place are different from ours. I wonder if they have such equipment. Many generals were still discussing when they suddenly saw CAO at the door and quickly put down the exercise equipment in their hands. Lord, why are you here? I came over to see how you are doing here. It looks like you are very satisfied. After hearing what CAO said through gritted teeth, many generals scratched their heads in embarrassment. Afterwards, CAO snorted coldly and prepared to go to the counselor to check. Unexpectedly, as soon as they arrived at the door, they heard Sun Yu's voice coming from inside. Great book. Great book. Why are there only half of these books? What? You have to go inside Jixia Academy to check the rest. It's a pity that such classics cannot reveal everything. I wonder if Jixia Academy will be open during the celebration ceremony. I have been longing for it for a long time. Before he finished speaking, CAO opened the door and walked into the guest room. Sun Yu and others were squatting in the corner, holding various classics in their hands and reading diligently. Seeing this, CAO couldn't help but grit his teeth. Conspiracy, this is simply a naked conspiracy. If this continues, these subordinates of mine may be directly instigated by Lu Jin to rebel. Humph, how can you be so lazy and lazy? CAO snorted coldly, and many counselors couldn't help but blush. And just when CAO was about to continue scolding his men, a familiar voice came from outside. You little boy, you are so rude. My eldest brother wants a huge room, and you can't even arrange it? It's not like we won't give you money. Arrange a room for us quickly. The man's voice was rough and loud. For a moment, everyone in the inn couldn't help but look downstairs. CAO was no exception. When he saw clearly the people coming downstairs, he immediately recognized several people. The leader is none other than Liu Bei, the current Jingzhou shepherd. Standing next to him are his second brother Guan Yu, third brother Zhang Fei and military advisor Zhuge Liang. The voice just now was made by his third brother Zhang Fei. Zhang Fei slammed the table and stared at the waiter in front of him with wide eyes. Zhang Fei even exuded a trace of qi pressure, making his aura even more terrifying. Facing Zhang Fei's request, the waiter was neither humble nor overbearing, with no fear on his face. For this guest officer, each guest room is specially assigned, so you cannot arrange it at will. The herringbone room and the Tianzihao room are almost the same. Guests can check in first and experience it. If you are not satisfied, I will report it to the boss and give you a better room. Zhang Fei was a little dissatisfied with the waiter's words and threw a bag of gold coins on the table. There's not enough money, right? Let's add more money. My eldest brother is a Jingzhou animal husbandry. If you want to live there, you have to live in the best room. Zhuge Liang next to him couldn't help but frown slightly when he saw this. Why don't we go to the room and take a look first? After all, our main purpose this time is to participate in the celebration ceremony. It doesn't matter whether the guest room is good or bad, as long as you can sleep. Zhang Fei was a little unhappy. You are obviously from our side, Why do you still speak for the other party? Zhang Fei snorted coldly and couldn't help but look at Liu Bei. At this time, Mo Liu Bu happened to pass by and saw the mess in the inn, and couldn't help but frown. This inn was specially set up to entertain those princes invited by the Lord. The guest rooms inside are carefully selected and carefully decorated. Unexpectedly, under such circumstances, someone would dare to cause trouble here? Thinking of this, Mo Liu Bu snorted coldly, summoned his Fangtian painted halberd, and walked into the inn. Who is making a noise here? As soon as Moribuletin appeared, the entire inn suddenly became quiet. After all, the Mo Buletin in front of him was the most famous general under Lu Jin. No one knows, no one knows. The initial battle in front of Hulao Pass left a big shadow in the hearts of all the princes. But now, Mo Liu Bu stood in the inn holding Fangtian's painted halberd, and directly saw Lu, Guan, and Zhang. When Zhang Fei saw Mo Liu Buletin, memories of the past came to his mind again. Even Guan Yu next to him opened his eyes and looked at Mo Liu Buletin. For a moment, the atmosphere in the inn became solemn. At this time, Lu Jin's voice suddenly sounded in the inn. You are shouting so loudly, are you planning to cause trouble on my territory of Qianlong Town? As soon as these words came out, everyone's expressions changed. I saw Lu Jin walking out from behind Mo Liu Buletin, quietly but shockingly. The originally tense atmosphere was directly suppressed by Lu Jin the moment he appeared. Zhang Fei, who had been arrogant and domineering just now, suddenly did not dare to say a word. Lu Jin glanced at Liu Bei and said calmly. All rooms have been arranged in advance. If you don't want to live there, you can leave Qianlong Town directly now.